What if I told you your success, your financial stability, even your chances of escaping poverty might already be calculated by an algorithm you've ever seen? Not a computer game, not a stock trading bot. A real global system that quietly decides who gets rich and who gets ruined. It's not written in any constitution. It's not approved by any vote. Yet it governs every market, every bank, every paycheck, and it's been running for decades. This is the story of how money stopped being human and became a mathematical machine. How the algorithm took over. To understand how this hidden system came to control the world's wealth, we have to go back, not to Silicon Valley, but to the early 1970s. Before algorithms, the financial world was slow, human, and limited by reality. Banks had vaults, traders had phones, money had weight. Then, in 1971, everything changed. President Richard Nixon removed the US dollar from the gold standard. That single decision to temporarily suspend gold convertibility unshackled money from the physical world. From that moment, money could be created at will. Central banks became code writers, and interest rates became the levers that controlled economies. But humans alone couldn't manage such complexity. By the 1980s, markets were too big, too fast, too global. So they built the system, a network of financial models, risk engines, and algorithms to manage it all. At first, it looked like genius. Computers promised rationality, mathematics promised fairness. But as we'll soon see, they didn't remove human greed, they multiplied it. The birth of financial code. The story begins with a formula. In 1973, three economists, Fisher Black, Myron Scholes, and Robert Merton, created a mathematical model to price financial options. The Black-Scholes equation became legendary. For the first time, markets could calculate the value of risk itself. Traders no longer gambled blindly. They could model probability. Wall Street worshipped it. Universities taught it. Banks automated it. And with automation came leverage, massive, invisible baits powered by data and computers. It was the first algorithm that decided who won and who lost in global finance. But like all codes, it had flaws. The machine learns greed. By the 1990s, Wall Street's new gods weren't investors. They were quants. Mathematicians and programmers built trading systems that could process millions of transactions per second. The human trader became obsolete. The algorithm didn't sleep, didn't panic, didn't question, and the profits exploded. Investment banks built massive black box models that controlled billions of dollars. These systems didn't just respond to markets, they moved them. If the algorithm said buy, everyone bought. If it said sell, panic followed. The system was no longer a market, it was a feedback loop. A machine that fed on volatility, magnifying both wealth and ruin. The crash that exposed the code then, in 2008, the algorithm's illusion of control shattered. The same models that promised safety had created a financial bomb. Risk was packaged, priced, and sold with mathematical precision, until the math failed. The mortgage-backed securities crisis wasn't just about bad loans, it was about blind trust in code. Credit rating algorithms said AAA. Banks believed them. Governments believed them, and the world paid the price. Trillions were wiped out in weeks. But the architects of the system, the banks, the central planners, the coders, didn't go to prison. They went back to their keyboards, and they built a newer, faster, smarter version. The code evolves. After 2008, global regulators promised reform. But instead of dismantling the algorithm, they refined it. They injected trillions into the system, quantitative easing, to keep the machine alive. Interest rates dropped to near zero. Cheap money flooded the markets. And once again, algorithms started deciding where that money went. But this time, they weren't just in Wall Street, they were in everything. Social media algorithms decided which companies got attention. Search algorithms decided which ideas got heard. Investment algorithms decided which stocks exploded and which died in silence. The world became programmable wealth, where influence, code, and capital merged into one. When humans lost the override, politicians tried to rebalance the system. They taxed billionaires, they printed stimulus checks, they passed reforms. But the truth is, you can't outvote an algorithm. The wealth divide wasn't a bug, it was a feature. Every dollar printed found its way to assets, not wages. The rich didn't save. They owned the machines that printed value. And so the algorithm kept running, refining, optimizing, and polarizing. It doesn't see class. It doesn't see justice. It only sees data. The algorithm today, the richest 1% own more wealth than 99% combined. That's not a coincidence. It's computation. AI trading systems now control over 80% of all global equity trades. Central banks use predictive models to simulate entire economies. And corporate algorithms use your spending data to price products in real time, even differently for you than your neighbor. You're not just in the system, you are the data it runs on. Every swipe, click, and transaction feeds into the algorithmic ecosystem that decides your financial future, from loan approvals to stock prices to inflation. And here's the twist: the system no longer needs permission, it's self-learning. Every crisis, every bailout, every panic makes it smarter. What you can still control, the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. It rewards ownership of capital, not labor. If you don't own the assets, you are the asset. Understanding money is no longer optional. If algorithms rule markets, then financial literacy is self-defense. Learn the code or be coded. Real wealth isn't about saving, it's about sovereignty. Own your data, your skills, and your value before they're absorbed into the machine. The algorithm that decides who gets rich or ruined isn't hiding anymore. It's in your phone, your job, your investments, quietly calculating your odds. The question isn't whether you can escape it. It's whether you can learn to use it before it uses you. So dig deeper, follow the money, and never forget, the code doesn't serve truth. It serves whoever writes it. Because in the new financial order, it's not just wealth that's programmed, it's destiny.